Hello, Team Absolution fans, far and wide. It's the captain speaking. Team Absolution, joined with the Irish God, Keith, as well.
Hello.
Today, it's time for another digestible bite video that you can consume in the happiness of your own home, or if you're an essential worker, in the happiness of your lunch break. So, let's jump in. Today, we're going to be talking about. I want to talk about quickly cover each clan individually before we get like a ton of new clans. I think next month. Right, Keith? Is that the rumor?
Yeah, it's next month. Apparently, we're getting the release schedule that we had is getting completely accelerated. And by the time we get to May 1st, we were supposed to, I believe, add DI, Dark Regulars, Pale Moon, Dimensional Police, and I think Bermudas, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to add those 4 clans within the first week of May, on top of the 5 that we already have.
Yeah, top of the 5, including Grand Blue, which just got released this week. So,
and with that, sorry, Jose, to keep going on it, but that will also involve a new set of support as well for the clans that we already have. So,
but not all of them, because I don't think OTT gets support in this wave.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I know Royals definitely gets Garmor.
And Galahad.
Novas get Risers. Yeah, Galahad. Novas get Risers plus Blouse. And Kagero gets Amber Dragons plus something else that I don't remember.
Waterfall,
thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, they get stuff, and then in June is when we'll get the big wave, which is good. I think we need more variance in the game right now. I think adding this many clans, I think, is gonna spice it up. I feel bad for Pale Moon players though, because I think Pale Moon is just not designed well for this game.
It's not. Since you auto soul charge or auto soul blast, you have no idea what's going to happen to your soul. So good luck, Pale Moon players.
So let's jump in here. All right. Royal Paladin. That's the first clan we're going to cover really quick before they get Garmor, probably Paladins. Before they get Galahad, you're not going to play it anyways. So I don't even remember what Galahad does. I know the ride chain because it's like the Tsukiyomi ride chain, the original.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what Galahad himself actually did.
His skill in 0 is that if you have 6 in soul, 6 cards in soul, CB2, and he gets crit +1, 3k power.
So meh.
Yeah, it's extremely meh.
Gancelot can, as long as you have Blaster Blade in soul, you can CB2 get a crit +4k.
Yeah, that's right. But
what? Yeah, he used him for the search, but he was there though. I'm just saying he's still better than Galahad. So that leads us to talking about that was Matt in the distance. He's playing some Animal Crossing, he's having a good time.
Okay, good to
hear. So let's talk about Royals. The way I want to do about this is let's talk about the cards really quickly, briefly. I'm gonna go through like long. We're gonna skip a lot of them because a lot of them aren't we're talking about it. So let's.
Just gonna hit on like the key players, basically, is it?
Yeah. So I'm screen sharing right now. Make sure you got it, Keith. God, Zoom, man. Zoom is so convenient. So let's start with the zeros real quick. Here we got your starters. Don't worry about this guy. He doesn't matter. If you're
only
using
use that one if you're VP farming. That's the
if you're VP farming. Not even because he's 6k. Like, just use this guy and just never like swing. So we've got your grade 3 searcher. He's pretty popular, I think. I know I use him. Some other people use him. Me and Braxton were talking about using this guy for a while just because he's free to go into the soul, and he actually can help out with Soul Saver if that was the build you wanted to make. Like,
fair.
Because we're going to talk about Big Daddy Barkle. And Barkle, I honestly think, and I do want to spend a minute talking about him, he is a shell of his former self in this version of the game.
Yeah. Barkle was one of the most powerful cards, I think, in the original Vanguard series. I think he was the first card to actually see a restriction.
Yes, he was. Well, let me ask the Vanguard historian over here. Matt, Barkle, he was the first card, right, to get a restriction. Yes, he was. I've got confirmation from the Vanguard historian, Matthew. He is. I have confirmed. I have talked to Blathers, and Blathers has confirmed. Yes, it is. It was the first card to ever see a restriction, and I mean, it was really good back then. Because Soul Saver, like instant Soul Saver, was just nuts at the time. Like,
Oh yeah,
consistent grade 2, consistent Soul Saver card was just good.
oh yeah. No, it was fantastic. The fact that I think if you ran a single Blaster Blade in your deck and no other grade 2s, your ride efficiency was still somewhere north of 95%.
See,
Like
that's
to
just
give
nuts.
perspective, it was like
That's just
stupid
nuts.
consistent. It was like stupid. So yeah, the original Barkle was probably one of the best forerunners we've ever had in the game.
And then also to talk about it, just to talk about Barkle's relevancy in the original game was, you know, at the time it was out, I think Gatling Claw was the only one that could retire him, and it required him having taken damage, which is like
Yeah,
almost impossible.
yeah, that's right.
Before the turn player, before the royal player is going to get a chance to superior ride, you only get like one shot if you went like second, or first,
Uh-huh.
or something like that to kill it,
Yeah.
and you're just not going to get that chance.
Yeah, if it's a smart Royals player, they wouldn't let you have that chance.
But now to talk about it in Zero. The
Yeah.
problem in Zero is grade 3s are triggers,
Mm-hmm.
and you only have 13 of them. And this card essentially costs you 2, and then you have to -1 for the Soul Saver ride as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So to run this deck, you're basically saying, I'm losing 3 triggers. Guaranteed.
Yeah, when most decks would only lose 1 for the grade 3.
Right. And that can put you at a very strong disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
I did play this card, and only search out the Flogel for a booster. But even that, I started thinking, nah, this is bad. Like, it's good to have a booster, but and it was a 5K booster because I search out Flogel. But sometimes you want the trigger in the deck.
Yeah, that's right. Thinning your deck of triggers is not the deck thinning you want to be accomplishing in this game.
No, definitely not. And then, plus it does cost a CB to do Lu into the Soul to get the Blaster Blade.
Yeah.
And then Soul Saver. The thing is, when you're gonna finally Soul Saver is when they usually have grade 3s or grade 1s in the front row, and they have no more taunts, right? They have no more grade 2s. That's when you're gonna want a Soul Saver, because you can just go face, and the 5Ks from Soul Saver is gonna help you get over any defensive triggers, right? Or defensive shields as well. And that just happens so late in the game that there are other ways you could get Soul if you needed to, that you don't need the immediacy of Soul Saver.
Yeah, that's right.
So, anything else you really want to talk about Barkle? Why we think he's just a shell, unfortunately?
No, it's. I was surprised at how disappointing he was, because I was going in with the impression of the original Barkle.
Yeah.
And I was like, this card's going to be nuts. And I was thoroughly disappointed with Barkle.
Absolutely.
I started playing with him.
I would have to agree. All right. Let's go back now. So we've talked about the grade 0s. The most often one played I see right now is Libergal. He's a really good card. I say you stand by him.
Yeah, that's the one I use as well.
Plus, he's adorable little puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Next, let's talk about grade 1s. All right. 4 of PG. That's a must. We don't need to cover that, right?
Yeah. Use as many PGs as you have in this game.
Yes,
that is a must.
It is one of your best defense mechanisms.
Yeah.
Lien, drop and draws. I've always been a fan of drop and draws. They were incredibly relevant in Legion. They were really relevant in the beginning of the game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see this played that much anymore. Do you play it? I
do. I play it as a 2-of, because I think the drop and draws are slightly less good. I think the boosters are just, having a booster is just more useful a lot of the time. Like then activating the skill, apart from being on turn 1 and having you end up with the Morikawa hand and just need to ditch some of your grade 3s to try to draw some grade 2s instead.
Absolutely.
But so it's good, but I wouldn't say it was as good as it used to be. A drop and draw is always just a useful ability, I think.
Yeah. Drop and draw. Unfortunately, I hate to see drop and draws go down that way, but they did. Young Pegasus Knight, I don't think his card's good. I do see it played occasionally. I don't think it's good.
Yeah, it gets played in like meme Royals builds from what I saw.
Yeah.
In that you have either, if you were able to call them early, those things get 9k because of the 3 cards from Barkle that go into the soul. And so they become huge beaters for a turn if you wanted to use that as like a strat.
Right.
The other piece is they work very well with the Mega Blaster, I think is Lohengrin, Demon Slaying Knight Lohengrin in Royal Paladins. Because they become constant 9Ks every turn because of the fact that he soul charges 1 every turn.
Yeah, no, if you're going to play Lohengrin, then sure, but then you're playing Lohengrin.
Yeah, that's right. You're playing meme Royals then at that point.
I've also seen it played a good bit in Soul Saver builds. Because if you do go Barkle and you call these 2 guys to your front row when you Barkle, they get like plus 6k each, which only makes them 12. But hey, I mean, you do you, man.
It's something. Yeah.
Marin 8Ks right now. I run it as a 4-of. I'm sure you do as well.
Oh yeah, 8Ks are good.
8Ks are good. Pongal. Pongal's good if you're running a Kane, but you could also be running Flogel instead.
Yeah, Pongal is fine, and if you're in desperate need of the Soul Saver, isn't it? CV1 toss it to Soul, get a Soul Saver. Absolutely. Yeah, if you're in desperate need of the grade 3, that also works too.
Without a doubt. Dream Painter, once again, if you're going for the Soul Saver play, this can get you there. Shoot, if you don't have the Alfred early and you want to get there, the Dream Painter can get you there. But it's also incredibly situational.
Yeah, and it's also, you're talking about removing a card from your hand for it, which I am not personally a fan of. Even though cards in your hand are less valuable than they would be normally, I still wouldn't consider it that not valuable.
Absolutely. I will say pay attention to Dream Painter, though. He will see play, I believe, in MLB.
Oh, that is fair. That's definitely fair.
As a 1 or 2. Just because if you get the Blaster Blade and Soul, but you don't have another Blaster Blade to go with your Blaster Dark for the big suck maneuver, then you can just use this to tech in. Yes, that's what I'm calling the maneuver. Some people call it's either the big suck or the yin yang bomb, whichever way you want to call it.
How many C's are in the big suck?
Oh, it's like 5.
Yeah.
You can tech in that Dream Painter. You can put in Blaster Dark in the Soul. If you already have Blaster Blade from Riding, boom, you're at 12k, and people are going to be mad at you.
Yeah. Money.
So that brings us to we're not going to talk about Alan, though I really wish they had used this art on Alan in the V series. I love that art.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
That's so much a better dynamic pose than what we got in V. Flogel, I run him. I'm assuming you do as well.
I do. It's fine. Making Blaster Blade a 19k is useful on the grade 2 turn, and that's about it.
That's about it. Anybody just say if it's a 7k booster anywhere else, which you can't get too upset with, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's
it's good. It's good enough. The rest of these grade 1s, 10k booster. This guy, don't play him. I see a lot of people play this. Don't.
Yeah.
He's too situational. Toy Poogle though. Toy Poogle is an interesting card. I think I have 4 shiny of this. Toy Poogle is an interesting card. I do see play. It is a high beast. So you can get it with a Kane. Later in the game, he becomes more useful. But
yeah, it's one of those things that like I don't usually want to have 2 grade 3s on the front row. And if I'm doing that, it's only because I'm slamming Palamedes to make sure that they can't Miracle Heal over me.
Right. So
it's like I don't like Toy Poogle as much as usual because of how valuable grade 2s are in the front row.
Absolutely. I'm inclined to agree. I think Toy Poogle, unfortunately, also took a hit because he did see a lot. Toy Poogles were expensive back in the day. Well, not expensive, but for a rare, I think they were in the set. They were hard to come by. Once again, this card saw a lot of play in MLB when MLB first released in set 5. MLB Palamedes. But might not see as much play because of what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Just grade 2s. Now, let's talk about the Big Daddy cards, grade 2s. All right, this is Royal Paladins grade 2s. Please
Oh my
enjoy
god, you have 2 SP Blaster Blades?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's start with the boss of the show here, Blaster Blade. Good old animated Blaster Blade. Let's enjoy that animation there for a second.
That's nice. That's nice. I'm a little bit jealous to that right now. Not gonna lie.
Also, I didn't know you could actually click on the art like that and just look through the art. That's actually really clean.
Yeah.
All right. Blaster Blade. We don't need to talk about its skill. It's pretty obvious what its skill is.
Yeah.
So, are you running Blaster Blade?
Yeah. As an immediate 4-of, why would you ever not run Blaster Blade?
And if you are playing the game right now, it is incredibly easy to acquire 4 of them. Either by the set or the game literally just hawks you 4 Blaster Blades.
I know.
And if this isn't your art and you have some gems to spend, go to the gem exchange, hawk those gems for a different Blaster Blade.
That's right. And if you're in Legend, you can get an even different Blaster Blade from that one.
So, like, we're talking all of these Blaster Blades. Hold on a second. Sorry.
I know you're good.
My app is kind of going crazy. Okay, so. Run this as 4-of. He is your main retire. He is the boy in which the deck surrounds himself around.
Yeah, he is one of the best cards in Royals right now. The fact that he just removes interceptors is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's really it's the crutch in which Royals lives and dies on right now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about his boy that really completes the synergy of the deck, the most synergetic component of it as per moment right now. So this boy, absolutely 4-of, absolutely what you need. Play him.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a good card. Retiring dudes is good. I mean, it's CB2, so it's expensive, but retiring cards are good.
Oh, yeah.
Akane, the other double R from the set. Unfortunately, I'm not playing Akane right now. At all.
Yeah. The problem is, once you get past Blaster Blade, things really start to go downhill in terms of the quality of grade 2s.
Yeah.
Akane exists. That's about it. If you are in desperate need for a booster, she can get you there. That's about it.
A lot of our points are going to surround themselves around the same general construct, right? Grade 2s are probably the most valuable grade in the game, defensively speaking.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Boosters are really nice, don't get me wrong. But if I can CB2 to get rid of to get a booster, or CB2 to kill your dude, I'm going to pick killing your dude every single time.
Yeah, that's right. Literally, if there's a grade 2 in your front row, it's getting Blaster Bladed. I am not going to spend it on Akane at all.
And then later in the game, I just don't have the CB to give you Akane because I'd rather use a Blaster Blade.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, I think this card might see a lot more play in Puppy Paladins when we get there. But I think Garmor's skill gives you more than enough ample room to get out these cards. So even in Puppy Paladins, I don't think we'll see. That's what they're called. That's what the deck is called. It's called Puppy Paladins. We're not gonna just call Puppy Paladins. That's the name of the deck, man. In Garmor, Connor might see more play, but it is going to right now.
Game of Thrones .deck.
That's what it's called. Anywho,
are you
now
gonna play Paladins? Was I?
If I pull the Garmors, but no.
No, okay.
Even if I pull the Garmors, probably not. I think we get a few better grade 2s in that set, though, which is thank God.
Yeah. I think you probably run at least the grade 2 Garmor and like the Snoggles maybe, because that's probably better than.
I forget if the grade 2 can search out a Snoggle like that.
I think he can. I think he's like discard 1 to search out a Snoggle, which I would pay that cost a lot more than CB2.
CB is just, dude, my CB is reserved for Blaster Blade and Blaster Blade alone.
Yeah, that's right. I spend it there, or I spend it on Alfred because I'm desperate.
Yeah, and it's usually like to get another grade 2 to save my life. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Now let's move down really quickly through these. 10K vanilla. You run him. He's a 10K vanilla.
Yeah, Gallatin's fantastic.
Gallatin, he's your boy. I like the art. We're playing him.
Yeah.
Now, what to run outside of that? This is where things really come up to like whatever.
Yeah.
Some people throw in some Akanes because why not? Variety. I mean, it's the same power as any of these others, so it's fine. I lean against the 8K. I don't like this one. Some people like it. I'm not a huge fan of it.
I actually prefer that 8K more than some of the other 8Ks. Like the Byron and the whatever that dude is with like the dynamic knight pose and the great
Tristan? Randolph.
Randolph, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, the reason I like the Eagle one is because of Blaster Blade. Usually you are going to be retiring one of their dudes and you're going to have a full field, so it becomes an 11K easier than a lot of the other ones do.
That's a fair point. I find myself using Tristan, to be honest, because of the 9K. You can hit other 9Ks instantly. And if you're lucky, you get a 14K out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you're really lucky, you can get a 19K out of it.
Yeah. It's really nice if your opponent is lucky because it helps you get over triggers.
Yeah. So I like Tristan. And then the only AK that I do use is grade 2 Paladins.
Okay.
Because as me personally, I don't know what you use in your your fourth grade 2 slot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you use?
I use the Eagle Knight. I was saying because of the Blaster Blade retired.
Right. So you use Blaster Blade, you use Eagle Knight, you use Tristan. That's 12. Who's your 13th?
Gallatin.
So you run 4 Blaster Blade.
4 Blaster Blade, 4 Gallatin.
4 Eagle Knight. Yeah, so that's 12. Who's your 13th?
Oh, sorry. No, it's not that. It's 4 Blaster Blade, 4 Gallatin. I think it's 2 Akane, 3 Eagle Knight.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now the math checks out. No,
yeah.
I think Tekken and Akane, you never know. You might have the CB to throw, and it's a 9K, so it's fine.
Yeah, sometimes the booster is helpful. That's basically what it comes down to for me. Oh, no, sorry. It's 2 and 2 and 1 Blaster Dark. I forgot about Blaster Dark.
Oh, yeah, Blaster Dark. Yeah, I did want to talk about that. Blaster Dark, you will be running him as a 4 of in MLB. But for now, you can just tech him in as a 1 of.
Yeah, sometimes you ride him and he's a better retire than Blaster Blade.
That's Blaster Blade. And he doesn't hurt you, so you might as well do it. So
yeah.
No, I agree. I also run the 1 of, and then I run 4 of him, and I think I go 3 Tristan, and I think only 1 Palamedes, or maybe 2 Palamedes. I have to check my list. I just like Palamedes because late in the game, he comes in handy. Because late in the game, when you have to drop a grade 3 and he's in your hand, boom, drop him.
Yeah.
He's also a really good Alfred search if you have to get to that point. Because odds are you have another grade 3 to drop, and you're Alfreding for some kind of grade 2 for defensive purposes, but at least he also gives you an offensive perspective as well.
Yeah.
Plus, he can hit Brutal Jacks if you need to.
Yes, which is important.
Now we talk to our grade 3s and triggers. All right, here we go. First things first, we've got King of Knights. Alfred beats the big boy.
Mm-hmm.
I only have 2 of them. I run them both. Keith, how many do you have? 4, right?
I have 4. Alfred was the first thing that I opened 4 of as a triple R. It was nuts. I could not stop opening this card.
It's like me and CEO. So do you like it? Do you run it as a 4 of? I would.
Yes,
if I had 4, I would run it as 4.
Yes, I run it as 4 because it's just on the Vanguard circle, he's a 20K beater. He's just massive. And then, what's nice is as well, you can use his Counterblast 3 on the rear guard too. Doesn't really come up that often because usually he's on your Vanguard. But he basically gets over all miracle triggers, barring they have Azure Kaiser or Overlord. And in which case you get over it with 1 trigger.
Right.
So
yeah, he's a great Vanguard to be on. There's a certain order you want to go, I think. We will talk about that after we get done with this. But he's a good card. Run him. If I had 4, I'd be running 4. Run whatever you got of him. He's a triple R, harder to pull. The Royals have 3 triple Rs in the grade 3 slot. So this is where money is a huge asset to you. Or luck.
Yeah. Royals is very top heavy in terms of all of the rarity is like in the top.
If Grand Blue is like medium heavy because it's all grade 2s, then like Royals is top heavy, and then there's no deck right now that is like grade 1 heavy. I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
The closest would be, and an OTT is like all heavy. You need a triple R at every stage.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's the only clan that needs all of their triple Rs to be good.
That's true too. All right, so let's go back. Now we've got the boy himself, bask in the glory of my animated.
Oh, that's actually a really nice SP. I had not seen that in SP.
It's pretty clean. It's pretty clean.
Yeah.
I've wanted to deconstruct it like so many times, but I just can't bear myself to do it because I already have 4.
Yeah. How many materials do you get for it?
I think you get 30 or 50.
Oh, you get.
It isn't bad. Okay.
Yeah, you get half a triple R basically.
Half a triple R back. So, let's go back to talking about this stuff. So, Soul Saver, big boy. When it attacks the Vanguard, it gets to plus 3K. That is actually more relevant than people give it credit for.
Oh no, it is a 20K attacker 90% of the time.
Yes, and it can also by itself without a booster still hit a Shurikaiser, still hit Overlord, still hit 11K Vanguards without any assistance.
Yeah, that's right. I have gotten got by that. I was like, oh, I'm safe. And then it got plus 3K, and I was like, I'm no longer safe.
The safety has left. There is only me now. I'm back in middle school, and I forgot my pants. How did this happen to me? The Soul Blast forwards, Vanguard and Rearguard. So I still run him. I run him as a 2 of right now, personally. Mostly just because there are times where he comes in handy, but most of the time I'd rather not have him.
Yeah.
How often do you have any soul? You only have 1, right?
Yeah, I had none up until 2 days ago, I want to say. It was like the one triple R I had not opened in this game was Soul Saver. And then I finally opened one the other day. So I haven't run any of it just because I just didn't have it.
Yeah, I think running it as a 1 of or a 2 of is totally fine because if you ride him, he's not terrible, except in the fact that he's just a beater, really.
Yeah.
The odds that unless you're focused on him, you likely won't get him off because the deck isn't super synergetic for him unless you build it around him.
Yeah, that's right.
So that leaves a Soul Saver. Now, the most important grade 3 in this deck, the one you without doubt, without question, absolutely require 4 of. At least, or 3 or 4, but 4 if you can, is Big Daddy Gantz. You need 4 of him, and not because he's a good, like Matt's over here yelling at me. Not because CB2 get a critical in 5K is good, because it's not really that good. Except that's not once per turn, so you could activate it twice. You could go CB4 plus 10K plus 2 crit, and then get PG'd and lose. That's up to you.
Exactly.
But because of this second skill, return this card to your deck and add a Blaster Blade from your deck to your hand. And we're talking about how this deck lives and breathes by Blaster Blades retire, right, Keith?
Yeah.
So you run 3, right?
I run 3 because I only have 3. If I had the 4th, I would have slammed the 4th into my deck.
Right. I mean, this card is just that good.
No, it is. Good. Yeah, it is probably the best card because of the fact that it's a recurring heal.
Yes.
Basically, you can just send your heals back, which is huge.
If this is not the heal of your deck, you are doing yourself a grave disservice.
Yeah.
Like a huge one.
I saw someone in Legend have it as a crit, and I wanted to punch them in the face. So I was like, why? Why would you ever do this?
I respect. How could you do something so controversial yet so hard? Like, dude, don't remember as a crit is gutsy though. That's gutsy.
Oh, it is maximum gutsy. I don't think you can get much more gutsy than that.
I've vast majority of players use it as a heal. I recommend you do the same because later in the game, if you still have some of these in your hand, you sling them back, you get a Blaster Blade, boom, Merry Christmas land. All right.
Yeah.
It's good in the beginning of the game. It's good in the medium of the game. It's good in the end game. It also increases your consistency of riding Blaster Blade because if you basically you have essentially 8 Blaster Blades in your deck.
Yeah.
Because as long as your starting hand either opens a Blaster Blade or a Gancelot, you'll have a Blaster Blade. to ride.
Yeah,
Which
that's
brings
right.
us into the next guy. Basically, run this card. He's amazing. He's good. This card will be the heal for Royal Paladins until Blaster Blade is no longer played.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you will just be. This card could not be any more useful for the clan. Like, if you have crafting materials, you should spend it on Gansalot. I spent it on
Yes.
one Gansalot so that I could
Yeah.
get a third one.
Yeah. No. I mean, I spent all the ones that I had for this on my fourth Gans.
Yeah.
Like I almost that's what I was gonna do originally was deconstruct the Soul Saver to make the fourth Gans, but then I was like, I'll just make the fourth Gans. So, um, he's that important to the deck. He's that important to the deck. If you have one or two of them, you still run it, obviously, but like once you hit 3 or 4, this deck really can hit its stride in consistency of like Blaster Blade, and Royal players will hit more heals because of it, and it makes them frustrating to play against.
That's right, because then you get like 3 activations of Blaster Blade, which starts to get pretty depressing after a while.
Yes. You get 3 activations of Blaster Blade, and like late in the game, if somehow they still have their Blaster Blade in the deck, and then they only have like 10 to 12 cards, and one of them is Blaster Blade, and you exchange that Blaster Blade for a heal, that's a huge difference.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Deck
thinning is deck winning.
Yeah, deck thinning is deck winning, and deck replacement with triggers is
Yeah, that's right. Even spicier.
So Ganslot, you got to run them. So that brings us to the rest of these boys. Really take your the only other 2 of importance is this guy, who is also a 4 of if you're playing Alfred Beats. If you're going Alfred Beats and Soul Saver is an afterthought, then you're playing Alfred early.
Yeah.
If you're focusing on Soul Saver, then this card is very against the synergy of the deck.
Yeah, that's right. But what's great about Alfred Early is he's actually I gave him not as much credit as I thought I would, but the fact that you get a dude and kill a dude with Alfred Early is pretty damn big.
Yes. Yeah, he is absolutely much better than his TCG counter. And the skill's the same. It's just the dynamic of the game much more gives him a much better buff than it did before, because you essentially get a taunt that an opponent has to get rid of, and you get to get rid of an opponent's card, which gets rid of one of their taunts as well.
Exactly.
It's a benefit on both sides of the board. It's just really nice.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
So I'm a huge fan of this card. I say you play it at least as a 4 of if you can. I think I run it as a 3 of because I run 2 Alfreds, 2 Soul Savers, 4 Gants. Yeah, I think 3. I think I run at 3 because I also run Big Boy Palamedes.
Oh yes, the beater, the original Royal Paladin beater.
The beat stick of like I'm gonna pummel you into the ground. MLB's big brother.
Yeah.
Palamedes, if you have 2 more grade 3s, he gets 3K. He's just a beat stick, man. He's there to get rid of people that's annoying you.
Yeah, he is. He just smacks them around.
And in this game,
yeah,
and in this game, he's the miracle heal like destroyer. He's the destroyer of hopes. You put him with a 7K, and it's like, all right, you hit the miracle trigger, I'm still killing you. You're still dying.
Yeah.
So that's why I play him. I'm sure that's why you play him as well.
Exactly. Yeah. You make sure that your kill turn is a kill turn because of Palamedes.
Exactly. Now, if you don't have any of these guys, you can really take your lot. I've seen this card see some decent amount of play for players who don't have it. Aside from that, do what you can. Make do with what you have available. Which brings us to the closing thoughts here. Royal Paladin still has a long way to go. I think it is one of the weaker clans of the 5 right now.
Yeah.
It might even be the weakest. But Alfred Beats is not that bad.
No, it's not. I don't think it's the weakest personally. I think it's the second weakest technically. I think Grand Blue is worse after seeing Grand Blue a lot in playtesting. But Royals honestly can get there pretty well. Like when we say that it's the worst among 5, it's not like it's like in the gutter tier right now because it has good stuff going on. It's just not as good as the other clan's stuff that's going on.
Absolutely. I
So,
think it needs more in the grade 2 department.
yeah.
And it needs more in the. I think its grade 3s are fine, honestly. I actually don't think. That's why I'm like Garmore. I'm indifferent on because like the last thing this clan needs is another good grade 3. We have actually pretty good grade 3s.
Yeah.
And Alfred early into Alfred is a great way to like curve your turn, right? You Alfred early, you pull out the blaster blade, you retire their dude, you go in, and the next turn you drop Alfred, you don't put a booster behind him, and you just boom, and you go in.
Yeah.
So, and you have Gantelot. So, like, you have your grade 3s are locked in. You just need better grade 2s.
Yeah.
It's an easier deck to jump into, I think, except for Gantelot.
Yeah. If you high roll at the beginning and find yourself with 2 Ganselot maybe, and can craft a third, then I think going into Royals is a pretty good decision, assuming you don't have a whole lot of the other things.
Absolutely, I would be inclined to agree with you on that. If you're a lucky player, I think Royals is really good for you. If you're just a lucky person in general, I think Royals is one of the better decks for you.
Yeah.
If you're a lucky player, honestly, all 4 are beneficial for you, but you can definitely play Royals.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that leaves it. I think right now it's low in comparison, but this deck is going to see the glow up of the century in 2 months.
Oh yeah, it will become the big 3 like it used to be back in the day.
Because new game or not new game, MLB is still. He will eat your PGs. He will be a constant 12K. He will be a nuisance until he is not a nuisance anymore.
Yes, exactly. And that is one of the biggest reasons to craft Ganselot, is because Ganselot will be 100% relevant in that deck.
Absolutely.
Why that's where, if you were to spend any sort of crafting materials, I wouldn't spend it on anything else in this deck, but getting more Ganselots if you don't have them.
And please, for the love of God, don't spend any crafting materials on Blaster Blade. If I see some person who's like, I needed to make my 3rd and 4th Blaster Blade, please stop.
Yeah, no.
Use it on Gantz. He will. Like I said, as long as Blaster Blade is relevant, he will stay relevant. As soon as Blaster Blade goes into the ether, then this card will no longer be relevant. But as long as Blaster Blade's in the deck, there's a reason for Gantz to be in the deck, and because it's a trigger.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna leave it on. Any final notes you want to say here on Royals, Keith? I feel like we covered everything pretty well.
I've been enjoying the deck. People don't play around Blaster Blade, is one thing I've noticed in Legend. And I think that's like, for all the people out there, do better. Play around the Blaster Blade because they will have it. Yes. They don't not have it when you have 8 of them in your deck.
Yeah.
So, and it will, like the amount of times people have like smashed me to 5, given me the damage, and let me crack back at them because they gave me the Blaster Blade retire because they only had 1 grade 2. So I just win is astronomical.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. People do not play against that deck as much as they should.
Yeah.
And I really wish they did, but they do not. So, I had fun playing it. I'm not playing it currently just because I want to get to Legend before I throw it back into the ladder. I'm so obsessed with getting to Legend right now that like I just want to do it with the deck I know can get me there, and that's Novas. So aside from that, but I will return to. And granted, I have a close friend of ours in Virginia, and she's grinded all the way to like Legend 50 something now.
Yeah, that's
on
right.
The back of Royals. I'm talking 200, 300 wins on Royals alone.
Yeah, like as clan dedication as you could get.
So it is doable. If you got the right ingredients. That being said, I'm going to leave it here. If you are new to watching Team Absolution, please hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment about what other videos you want. We will be talking about the other clans as we get a chance to. This is Team Absolution signing off. Thank you for joining me as always, Keith. Peace.
Of course.